Episode 12, mate. I've missed it. You're back.
I'm back.
Yeah. No more holidays. Well, I got one in October.
I've got one next week.
Brilliant. How long are you away for?
3 days. Only 2 nights.
Yeah,
So
I'm not till October. So we'll have some content. Just I got to look at that one and on. Got to learn that. Got to look at that one. Yeah, we'll have some content.
We will.
Yeah, episode 12.
We'll have loads. 12. And this week we've done a cheat day food review as well.
We have. That's pending, coming soon. With should we say who it is?
Yeah, we can say it is.
It's called Sides, isn't it? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Sides by Side.
We'll have probably shared some of that content before this podcast airs anyway.
Yes. How was your holiday?
It was really, really good. It was very, very hot. I was actually really scared before we went about. We got there. We got there really late. We went straight out and had a drink because the bar at the one of the bars at the hotel was open till 2 a.m. So we went and had a drink at like midnight. Just didn't want to go straight to bed. And it was like Martha was moaning, her hair was sticking to her, like it was so hot. And the barman was telling us like, don't go outside, make sure you stay in the air conditioning. Like, what? Like, we haven't come on holiday to stay inside, and I was actually really scared about what it's going to be like, but it's fine.
No, I love it.
It was hot, but it was fine.
Anything in the 30s, touching 40s, I love that.
Oh, it is a bit warm for me because it was absolutely fine by the pool, but you didn't really want to go and walk anywhere or do any sort of like sightseeing because it was just too hot to walk around. But if you were by the pool and then out the pool, you're absolutely fine.
I almost died for like half a day, and then I acclimate. Is that the right word? Acclimate. Acclimatise. What's acclimate mean then? What's that? Is that when you put your fish in the tank?
I don't know. Tomato.
Yeah.
Don't know.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Then I'm all right, but there's always a day where I'm like, I'm gonna die today. Happened in Vegas. Happened this time in Florida. Happened in Dubai.
We did say we thought we got used to the heat, but it was just so humid. I think that was the problem. I think that's what was making it feel like uncomfortable.
It's the air, isn't it? You're like, there's no like coolness to the air or anything like that, so you're like screwed basically. Stuck. Yeah. So you're in an oven. That's what I always think. Out of the plane into an oven.
But that's one of my favourite things when you get off the plane and you feel that heat though. I love that feeling.
It's my favourite thing in the world, you know.
It's absolutely brilliant. So, but yeah, we had a lovely long break. It felt like we were away for ages. So, just what the doctor ordered, managed to switch off and just completely relax and chill out.
There we go, mate.
So it was very, very lovely. Kids had a great time.
Love it.
What have you been up to?
Not much really, just working. That's it. Just did some work. We've started a refurb at Revival, which is cool. So that's started.
Yeah, really excited about that.
Yeah. We've officially brought the building.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much official. It's about 99% official. So that's sorted. So that gives us more scope to build stuff because we've rented it for 7 years and it's plus 7 years. Well, no, it'd be 7 years this year, wouldn't it? So nearly 7 years. So you almost don't want to mess with like structural stuff and things like that when you're renting it.
Yeah.
You know? And we almost lost the gym last year. You know, people don't know that. We had some disagreements here and there with contractual agreements and things like that, and we almost moved. But and now we're buying the thing, we bought the thing. So it's a nice feeling. It's a nice little weight off your shoulders sort of thing. You know, it's cost us some fucking money, but you know it's well worth it. So
now you can do what you want with it.
Yeah. So. I did post it the other day, so we've got 3 phases to start with. So we're putting a Pilates studio in there, a form of Pilates, which will be cool. That's always quite a popular thing.
Yeah, it's really taking off, isn't it? I think that's really great for the gym.
I think so. So we just got to figure out the size of the room because it's going in the spin room. But we were going to extend, but it's boring talk. But we just got to figure it out. But that's what it'll be. So that's going to be a Pilates room, and then the female changing rooms is being redone.
Yeah.
So that's nearly finished, basically. We just got to redo the original bit. And there's a physio room going in as well. So which she's currently upstairs in the top bit in the office, but she's going to move down into the middle bit. So you'll be able to book a physio. We'll have that as a thing. So that'll be cool. And then there's still another bit which I can't talk about, but. That's another bit, yeah. So which is now developed into another bit. So I got another meeting Monday to sort that out. But so it's all going well, mate. To be fair, it's new businesses on the horizon, which is cool. It's all going forward. It's all going well. Yeah, Revival is very well and truly alive.
Fabulous.
Alive and kicking. Yeah.
Alive and kicking.
Yeah. Love it. That's been me.
Great. Well, we've sort of decided we're going to do a bit of an Olympics theme for this episode.
Did that start when you were away?
It did. So we missed the first week.
Yeah.
Which meant that.
Does anybody care about it in Cyprus?
It was. I don't know. I couldn't really. I mean, we sort of talked about it ourselves, but we didn't. We weren't sort of in the room to watch it.
I've only been to Cyprus once. Correct me if I'm wrong, Cypriots out there watching, if you are watching. I feel like it's a very chilled. I don't want to say they don't give a fuck because that's not the right phrase, but that's just a very like we went when it was COVID. Nobody talked about it. There was no news on COVID, and it was full flown COVID. The only place you could go, I booked at one point 10 holidays, right? And every time the country went off grid, you couldn't go. I had to cancel it. But I had 10 destinations. I thought, well, one of these is going to be left over, and it just happened to be Cyprus. But when we went, like it was almost like COVID didn't exist. Nobody. It was quiet. Don't get me wrong, but no one talked about it. There was no news about it. It was almost like they just chilled the fuck out. They just don't care. They don't get involved in anything. It's mad. But no, I think the only thing we had to do was wear a mask indoors, but no one spoke about it. Nothing. You know. Yeah.
There were a few signs left from COVID actually that we saw for like pharmacies and where you could get tests and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it got worse when we left as well because you couldn't go there. They went in red zone, so you couldn't go. So I think then maybe they gave a shit, but honestly, mate, no. Considering we came from this country, which everyone was being fucking stupid over it, there was nothing. It was quite nice actually because it was just peaceful, you know.
Yeah, right from it.
Yeah.
But really, Olympics, I'm not really sure. I could be completely wrong, but I don't think they have a great representation of athletes from Cyprus. So I guess
maybe
therefore they wouldn't.
Thing.
Yeah.
Because I've been to America when the Olympics were on, and they fucking love it.
Well,
it's
they're going to, aren't they?
I remember when it was London Olympics, and I'd gone to America a few months before. It's 2012, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were buzzing about that, and they were like, you looking forward to the Olympics being in your country? And I was like, no, I'm not an Olympic kind of person, no. And they were like, what?
Well, I was. We were all over it. We loved it. Everyone loved to have the Olympics.
Yeah, I think I watched it more then.
Yeah. It all depends where it's on as well, doesn't it? Because obviously being in France this year, it means that it's on TV at times when you can watch it.
You know what I think
depending where it is in the world, you can't always see it live, can you?
I think it depends on who's actually on the thing. Like, name someone at the minute who's actually any good.
Well,
they're all good, don't get me wrong,
but like,
name an Usain Bolt. Do you know what I mean? Name a Linford Christie. Name a Jonathan, what's his name? Jonathan Edwards, who did the long jump.
Yeah.
Name him. Name another version of him.
We've got Kaylee, haven't we, that did the women's 400 metres.
Don't even know who that is.
But I think she was the first, Ben was saying, I'm sure she was the first British track medalist since, was it 2016? Ben, so we can't remember. But
Colin Jackson,
I know what you mean.
From the hurdle, remember him?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? These are all big names. Even the one who was on steroids, Dwayne Chambers, legend, jacked, legend. Do you know what I mean? Jack for a reason, legend. He didn't even win, I don't think, or maybe won twice. But I feel like there's no big names.
So I just tend to watch the things that I enjoy watching anyway, regardless of who's doing it. So like I like the swimming, I think that's good to watch. I like the diving, that's good to watch. I like the equestrian stuff.
Okay.
I'm not so fussed about the athletic side of it.
Yeah, well, she got done, didn't she? That equestrian, what's her name? Didn't she get banned because there's a video came out of her whipping her horse to shit? What was that one?
Was that this year?
She couldn't compete this year.
Oh, okay, I haven't heard that story.
Yeah, she was whatever. What's the thing when the horses?
Dressage.
Yeah, that's it. Doing the, you know.
It's good. I know exactly what you meant.
Yeah, that was a good. I think that was quite good. I think she was doing that, but she got a video leaked where she was like fucking caning a horse in.
Okay.
Yeah. Not nice. So animal cruelty, all the best. But that kind of brings us on to the madness that is the Olympics currently.
Yeah, because our sort of Olympics episode
fucking madness.
Is less about weren't such and such really good. It's more about the controversy.
Well, like I say, if it was like Bailey, that guy called Bailey who won the 100 metres, who the fuck is that? Who's that? I don't think I've ever watched the 100 metres where I don't know anybody in the lineup. So I'd love to sit here and talk about an individual person. Is his surname pronounced Biles? Was it Biles? Biles?
It's got to be balls.
It's got to be in it. She's great, you know. So, but other than her, I'd love to be able to talk about someone who's like a headline of the event. But and then he got COVID and couldn't do the 200 meters because he got bronze in the 200 meters, but
right.
he got COVID just before and he couldn't do it. So he was like, and he was favourite to be number one, which is a shame. But so yeah, guys, today is about the disbelief of what the fuck is going on in the Olympics, starting with apparently men boxing or beating the shit out of women on the boxing stage.
Yeah.
What's that about?
What is that about? Because I looked that up after you mentioned it.
It's quite confusing,
I'd sort of, I'd seen a bit on the news, but not in detail. But when you read the news articles, it's more about like this gender testing, isn't it?
So from what I get, let's do the obvious thing first. They look like fucking dudes. I don't care what anybody says. Like when you compare the two, they look like fucking dudes, man. But it's not saying they are, but they look very manly. So the two people in question, I don't know I'm going to butcher these names, but it's Imane Khalif and Lin Yuting.
Yeah.
I can't remember the countries they're representing, but they look like guys, thin guys, you know. And of course, she fought that Italian, and the Italian had one punch and was like, "Fuck this," and just bailed straight away for her safety. But when you read it, it's a bit, I don't know, man. Like apparently, so they failed a testosterone test originally before this Olympics, on another Olympics, I think.
Yeah, I read there was something about chromosomes, and then there was also that reportedly that they both had high levels of testosterone.
Yes, and then obviously that's now gone into them being dudes, but yeah, I don't really know. So I haven't really wrote many notes about it because I can't. It's a bit confusing.
Yeah,
I don't really know, and like. They look like dudes, but I don't want to call them dudes if they're not dudes. Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, it's a bit weird, and they've kind of smashed it. But they, you know, if you look at their record, they have lost to women before.
Okay.
They're not just like constantly beating the shit out of women.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a little bit strange, and I do think when it's that level, if there's any sort of misunderstanding as to what somebody is. Maybe properly find out, do you know what I mean? And then go into it, do you know what I'm saying?
You think that all this could be cleared up before the Olympics?
Yeah. Well, if I buy a dog, right, I can easily find out if it's a male. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You know? So there's plenty more of a simple tests that you could just do to see what you are. I mean, you could be trans and all those things and go down that avenue, but I don't know, it's very weird. But just FYI, if it is a dude beating up women in the boxing, that is insane. And say what you want about equality, unfortunately, men and women aren't the same. Let me give you an example, right? Let's take UFC, right? Let's use UFC as the first example. So when you look at heavyweight division, right? You look at what? Someone like Ronda Rousey is probably the top or the most well-known female, not anymore, but in her prime, Ronda, right? So then the comparable version of that, you might not know who this is John Bones Jones, right?
Don't.
No. So if them two got in the ring together, John Bones Jones would beat the absolute shit out of Ronda Rousey 20 times over and more because he's an absolute machine. I'll give you another example. So, what's the old tennis player's name with John McEnroe?
Yeah.
He got a bit in trouble once for not referring to Serena Williams as the best tennis player in the world. He was saying the best female tennis player in the world. And he was asked, well, why don't you say best tennis player? And he said, because she's nowhere near. And that went down like a lead balloon. So he got a bit of trouble with it. And then when Serena Williams got asked about the whole thing, she was like, yeah, he's right. And they were like, what? And she was like, well, I can't remember the guy's name. This is Serena in her prime. Played, I think it was ranked 400th male in the world. And he beat her straight sets 3. I think she won 1 round. That was it. So when you look at that, and Serena Williams, maybe not so much anymore, but at one point was the best in the world for a female tennis player. Against the ranked 400th male. There's the difference. Do you know what I'm saying? So we aren't the same, you know? So if that is happening in boxing, that's fucked up. You can't do that. You know, we're just not comparable in that sense. You know.
Yeah, not in terms of strength.
We're just not, are we? Even speed. Look at the 100 metres thing. Has any female, and correct me if there is, has any female gone sub 10 yet?
I don't
In the
know.
100 metres? And that's a very common thing. If you very rarely see a male in the final when they're proper going for it go up any 9.9. That's not a thing anymore. It's always 9.7, things like that. And those 0.3 differences are massive. But I'm sure it was 10.4, maybe 10.4, something like that for the final of the women's. It's almost a second, and that's massive.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem that much because it's like half a second or 3/4 of a second, but it's massive in terms of distance on a 100-metre track. So we're just not comparable. That's just how it is, you know. Men are built to be more athletic, and I'm not saying there's not a woman boxer out there that can't beat up a male boxer in a certain level and things like that. That's not what I'm saying. But if you do an exact comparable measure, it's just not comparable. It's just not. And the only way really you can do it is going, well, you're top of your game. And so who's the top of the game in this, in female? Who's the top of the game in males? And it's miles apart. And you just go. So if that's happening, yeah, not good.
No.
Shall we move on to, just FYI, that's not the worst thing in the Olympics. No. That's confusion, if anything. There's a child rapist, Sally.
Yeah.
There is a fucking child rapist in the Olympics.
Yeah, I've read that story this morning.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so he's now 19. No,
He
it was when he was 19 that he
Yes.
raped a 12-year-old girl, and he's from the Netherlands, isn't he?
That's correct. And he's won a medal as well. I'm sure he has. So I'll give you some background, right? In 2014, his name's Van der Velde. Van der Velde. Aged 19 at the time, corresponded with a 12-year-old girl who had sent him a friend's request on Facebook, right? He said he believed the girl was 16 at the time they began to communicate. But he continued, despite her telling him her age, to which she told him, I am 12, right? And they carried on talking. In August 2014, he travelled to her hometown in Milton Keynes, down the road, gave her alcohol, 12-year-old, and raped her near the local Thurston Lake.
But you might not know the answer to this, you probably won't.
Go on.
Where were her parents?
Fuck knows. I don't know. What the fuck is going on? But yeah, something ain't right there anyway, but by the by, right? Let's just go from his point of view.
Yes,
Yeah. Regardless of the mess at her home, whatever's going on there.
Yeah.
If there was one. Let's go from his point of view. The same night, Van der Velde tried to stay at a hotel with her, but was denied a room. So they slept under a staircase. There were further 2 instances of rape the next day. During one of the 3 rapes, she told Van der Velde that he was hurting her. Van der Velde returned to the Netherlands after the rapes and told his victim to go to a sexual health clinic for contraception. Nice bloke. Do you know what I mean? What the fuck? Thanks, Van der Velde. Jesus Christ. At which point, her age alerted concern among the staff. He was extradited to the UK and arrested in January 2016. The victim expressed feelings of guilt and had been self-harming and once overdosed. Facts that caused the judges to give Van der Velde a scathing review during the case. He's now out of prison, and apparently, according to the Netherlands Olympic Committee, all is forgiven. Now, there's certain things, right, you can be arrested for. Even murder, right? You could kill someone, whether it's by accident or self-defense, or maybe you just got angry once and did it. And you can almost go, okay, fucked up, maybe you could, forget about it, you do your time and fuck off, right? I'm sorry. Child rape, no. That's unforgivable. That's it. You did it, and you definitely shouldn't be in the Olympics.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not saying, I don't know, well, I'm saying you're fucked because you should be in prison for life. But
in 4 years, he did.
That's insane. It's insane. I can't get my head around it. And I just don't know. I'd love the Olympic Committee in the Netherlands to comment or send us something and explain where the fuck that mentality is. Because I don't get it. That's Let's assume this family of hers, let's assume she has a family, and let's assume they're a nice family, whatever. They aren't going to forgive that person. And now they see that same person celebrating medals for volleyball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
volleyball.
After their child's been raped by him. I think it's insane.
Yeah, I agree. You know, we only know obviously what's been reported, so we can't go into the full ins and outs.
No.
So perhaps he's done his time, that's fine, but he shouldn't be. There should be some things that you just can't do.
You see it? You're a paedophile?
Exactly.
But that's not forgivable.
Competing in the Olympics,
Yeah.
I would say, is one of the things
Like
that you shouldn't be able to do.
He said he's a changed person, he's, you know, and all this stuff, which, yeah, rebuild your life, but just like in private, mate, nobody else wants to bother with that shit. Like, no way, I just can't. And are people, I don't know, but are people like cheering him when he like wins?
I know, well, that's what I wonder. I wonder what all the other athletes are like with him from other countries and stuff, what they're like with him.
And what's even more concerning, right, maybe I've just missed things, but people seem to be talking about men fighting women, which isn't proven properly yet, more than than the fact there's a child rapist on the Olympics. In my opinion, second is worse. That is the second thing is way worse. So are they trying to cover up that shit or something? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. I always think conspiracies go on, you know. Do they bring out this men fighting women thing just to cover up the fact that they've allowed some paedophile to come into the Olympics? It's just weird, you know? More people should be talking about that. Well, he should just be banned.
Yeah.
You know, there's your simple answer is. And like he's a double, so he's got a partner. And I think she's been asked, and I think she's a bit awkward, doesn't want to comment and just be like, you know, just want to get on with the game. But imagine having to compete with that. Like, sorry, joint, like, have that as your partner.
Yeah.
I'd be sick.
Well, surely you must have, like doubles, don't you have a hand in choosing who the partner's going to be?
Surely. Well, I don't know. I think it's different for every country, you know?
Yeah.
There must be some, like, we've just gone in through there, some countries pay you, don't you, and to be in the Olympics and win medals and things like that, but our country doesn't.
Yeah, Great Britain, one of 4 countries only that do not incentivise medal wins. So it's Great Britain, New Zealand, Norway and Sweden, and every other country incentivises for winning medals.
Our country's shit. I can't stand this country, mate. I'm going to leave. I've already talked about this before to you. I am going to move country at one point and live there. This country, it's not even like we're poor. And New Zealand, what the fuck?
I mean, personally, on this point, I'm not saying I don't think Great Britain should incentivise medals at all. That's not what I'm saying. But I wonder how much extra motivation it would give athletes, because personally, I believe that the athletes, that they want the accolade of winning an Olympic medal, regardless of whether they're getting paid for it or not. So I'm not sure how much difference it would make to our medal performance. But like I say, that doesn't mean I don't think they should get paid for it. I just don't know how much difference it would make.
Yeah, like, I think go with the flow. So if 90% of the population is doing it, we should be doing it.
Yeah.
I couldn't care if none of them did it. Fine. Do you know what I mean? Because it's your choice whether you go and do it, right? If most countries are doing it, we should follow suit. And like you say, like, for example, let's say someone's mega fast, right? But they're also good at football. You're going to pursue football, aren't you? Knowing that that's a paid job. And not train to win 100 metres or 200 metres or something like that. And then you might fail at football, because that's very difficult to get to the top.
Yeah.
Or get some kind of paid job out of it. But by that time, you're older and you haven't trained.
I suppose if it was paid, you might be more inclined in the first place to pursue it.
Because you know that's a potential job that you could go down in and work towards. And like, just FYI guys, we're not talking about a tenner for a gold medal. Some of these countries pay hundreds of thousands for a gold medal. Some countries give you a salary for the rest of your life for getting and that's per gold medal. That's insane.
Yeah, so massive. The USA pay $38,000 for a gold medal.
And that's low, isn't it, compared to some of the
It is
countries?
compared to some. $23,000 for silver and $15,000 for bronze. So Biles, who we were talking about from this Olympic Games, has reportedly walked away with $137,000.
Not bad. And then you take, and that is small. Some people pay more than that, some countries, for one gold medal. But we looked at some. What was the 200,000, Ben? Taiwan?
There was Hong Kong. If you're from Hong Kong, you get, that's definitely well over $200,000.
Dollars?
Yeah.
That's insane. I mean, fair play. You know what I mean? But that would 100% get more people doing that. If you weren't getting paid for football, not many people would go and play football for a living. You'd do it on a Sunday league. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a thing. It's a thing because how crazy the salaries are.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same with any sport, and it is a sport, so people should be. And like you could argue, okay, maybe there's ones that are paid sports anyway. Like there's golf in there, there is football in there is basketball in there. So okay, fair enough. But a lot of the stuff like athletics and things like that's not a paid sport outside of the Olympics. So, and like I say, like we're talking about big names. Unless you're a big name, you ain't getting sponsored either, are you? You know, you need to be a good big name. That's how you get your name.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Usain Bolt. Everyone knew Usain Bolt before he won his first gold medal. They knew he was this fast fucking dude, sponsored by whoever, and then he was like, oh, here he is, Usain Bolt, bang, and then he smashes it. You know. And as soon as he gets that first gold medal, that first world record, boom, is exploding. Because he's already got that backing behind him. Mm-hmm. You know, his agent's already sorted him out. You know, but yeah, 100%. Sort it out, UK. Stop being boring. This is my problem. We're boring. UK's boring. Stop being boring. Get on it. Get on the train, mate. I don't care about New Zealand. I don't live there. UK, get on it. Pay your athletes, mate. You know, we deserve it, and we've done well. We're only like 5th in the Olympic table for medals or something.
4th or 5th, I think. Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So, and I think it's only France, China, and USA maybe that are above us. China and USA always kill it. France are at the home advantage, so they're going to kill it. I think we had our best one at the London Olympics, didn't we? So that's always a bonus. And I just pay them, man. Pay them some cash. Give them some bonuses. Yeah, do them.
What about breakdancing, which I've read is not even called breakdancing even more. Anymore.
This is at the Olympics?
Yeah, so launching today, the first ever, it's called breaking. But the term breakdancing is apparently obsolete. But the women's is today and the men's is tomorrow.
I don't know this.
Yeah, so the debate is, should breaking be an Olympic sport, first of all? The way that it works is essentially that it's a dance-off between two breakers, and the judges, there's no scores, they just decide who's going to win. And you don't know what music you're going to break to either.
Ben,
hello.
Bring up definition for the word sport. I think you can class it as a sport.
See, I think, like Ben asked me about this earlier, and I said, well, I don't want to dumb down gymnastics because I can't do it, but essentially, you know, the floor stuff that they do in gymnastics, they're doing backflips, they're doing cartwheels, whatever, so why shouldn't breakdancing or breaking be classed as a sport?
An activity involving physical exertion and skill in which an individual or team competes against another.
It's a sport. It's actually defined as a sport.
So if you couldn't hear that on the microphone, it was an activity that involves a skill,
an exertion,
and where there's competition between a person or a team.
So it's fact. It's actually a sport. Whether we think it is, it's factually a sport. That's what it is. No, great. I like that. That's good. You know, people get behind that. Job done. I think there should be more things that we could probably put in there.
If you were in the Olympics, what would your sport be?
Wow. Thinking about my current skill set or what I'd like to do.
Nah, just anything. Like if you were,
current skill set,
I wish I was good at that, or
100 metre sprint.
Yeah, that'd be your thing.
Because it's quick, innit? It's done. I ain't got to do like was it you I talked about marathon? I think was that you? No, it was Rob. I couldn't do like marathon or stuff like that. It's too long. Do you know what I mean? Or like something that's like athletics, bowls. There's so many things. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm in and out. I just want to be in and out. I want to get on there, 100 metres, 9 seconds. I would never get 9 seconds, but 9 point something, whatever. Carry on to the next round. Do you know what I mean? Done. Maybe then I'd do the 200 and the relay just to mix it up a little bit. But I think running.
You wouldn't do the steeplechase.
No.
Because that is like, as we said the other day, when have you decided that you're good at running, but you'd quite like to have a few obstacles?
Yeah. No. It's the same as hurdles, right? That's what hurdles.
Well, no, the steeplechase is the one, they've got much higher things to jump over, and it's the one where you jump over the wall into the water, you land in the water and then keep running.
Yes.
Like, why?
That's like Takeshi's Castle. Remember Takeshi's Castle? Do you remember that?
Well, I remember the name, but yeah.
It's the same thing, isn't it? Jeez. But even hurdles, what's the point in that?
Well, what
How
is
can you be good? How can you, if you're not good at 100, hang on, how can I put this? How can you be good at hurdles but not normal running?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? I don't know. But I suppose it just mixes it up. Gets more people involved, right?
Yeah.
What makes you decide to do those ones as well?
That's what I mean.
Do steeplechase.
That's what I mean. I'm good at running, but it's not enough.
I'd like to go jump over a wall into water, please.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
But fair play. I just, yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff, but more the merrier.
Yeah.
I'm fully behind. Not that I watch it ever, but more the merrier when it comes to Olympics. Bring it on. More people should be incentivised to do something athletic.
Yeah.
Why not?
Did you see the pole vaulter that knocked the bar off with his penis?
Ah, did you? Did you see that?
Yeah.
That'd be me.
He's been offered.
Damn my penis!
He's
Yeah.
been offered a £250,000 porn deal.
Oh, but he has. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, pole vaulting, that looks terrifying to me.
It's weird, isn't it?
Flinging yourself up in the air.
Yeah. It's
I'm
high as
not
well.
scared of heights, so it
Yeah, it's
just
high.
definitely wouldn't be for me. But I'll watch it and it makes me anxious watching it.
Yeah, no, how do you practice that as well? How do you go, right, I'm going to stick this in this thing and just get up? How? It's insane. Because the only way to practice that is just fucking going for it, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't get high without going for it. Insane.
Talking about pole vaulting, have you seen the news about the Canadian female pole vaulter, Alicia Newman, who has had some controversy around her bronze medal celebration in which she twerked?
Did she?
Yeah. Is it okay to twerk in celebration of a medal at the Olympics?
Someone would need to tell me why it's not okay.
Yeah, well, I think, why not? But she has got an OnlyFans account.
Nice.
So the question, I think, has been raised was she really doing it in celebration or was she doing it to promote her OnlyFans account?
Both. She's doing both. Yeah. She's excited and clever. Do you know what I mean? She's nailed it. Fair play to her. Yeah, if someone wants to argue as to why you shouldn't do that, bring on the argument. But your argument's probably just going to be a prude argument where they shouldn't be doing that. Oh, well, yeah, that's your personal opinion. Fair enough. But who cares?
So there's been another thing following on from that around should we be ogling the male Olympians, like the divers and stuff like that, for being there in their trunks and looking really great.
Where do these problems arise?
I know, but
someone must be in a room with someone. It must be a jealous husband. Their wife's ogling over it and they're going, I'm going to write to the Olympics. Fuck this. Do you know what I mean? Like, where does the problem arise? Can't be the person who's ogling over the men.
I think it's because, we've been told for years, haven't we, that you shouldn't ogle women and whatever, and men get slated for it. But it's like, well, hang on a minute, a lot of women seem to be doing the same thing towards men.
Why can't you ogle
what's
women?
good for one's got to be good for the other.
We're supposed to be attracted to the opposite sex. That's technically the norm. People break out the norm and attract to the same sex. Great, fair enough. Each to your own. But we're supposed to be attracted to, let's say, the physique of another human. That's normal, you know? Why can't men ogle over women without someone being offended?
Well, I guess if you go really deep, it comes down to like body confidence stuff, doesn't it? And all of a sudden, like if you're not getting ogled as one of your as an Olympic athlete, you then, oh God, what's wrong with me?
Oh, it's freaking hell. You know, mate, too many people invent too many problems. It's like trying to please everybody. You just end up pleasing no one. What's the point? Men, you're supposed to find people attractive. Women, you're also supposed to find people attractive. As long as you're not being rapey and weird, just, fuck me. We have to look at someone. You know?
Apparently loads of the Olympians have got OnlyFans accounts. We've got a diver, Jack, I don't know how you say his surname, I want to say Loffer.
Okay.
He does the 3-metre springboard.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's got an OnlyFans account.
Is he British?
He's been talking about it, British.
You know why he's got an OnlyFans account? Because he ain't being paid.
Yeah.
Now, if he was being paid...
Maybe he wouldn't need one, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know? Fair play, man.
Good point.
Why not? Get what you can out of life. You know? You only live once. It's a very short period of time. 100 years if you're fucking lucky. And for 20 of those years, you're going to be old. So get what you can, and however you want to do it, as long as it's legal and you're not fucking with people, get what you can. Why the fuck not? If you want to twerk on stage because you've won an award, a bronze medal, which most of the other motherfuckers at Amoni would never get to that level in your area of expertise, crack on. And if that advertises your OnlyFans, fucking brilliant. Why not? Get on it. Make as much money as you can. That's what I think. Job done. And if you're someone who invents a problem on it, bore off. Ugh. How boring must you be? You know? Like, you know what I mean? Like, even the difference between, like, just not liking something and going, oh, I don't like this. But then going to the next level and complaining about it. It's like when we talked about the Facebook cunts. Do you know what I mean? Like, they don't like something. Instead of just going, oh, I don't like that. Get rid of that. Take that off my vision by unfollowing. Oh, I'm going to go on a Facebook chat, or I'm going to put it on my thing and tell everybody about it. I'm going to moan to the police or whatever. What are you doing? You know, just get a grip and get a life and move on. If you don't like something, stop watching it.
Yeah.
But no one will ever will they? I've said to you before, more people respond to negative than they do positive. You know, there's probably been 1 million positive things come out of the Olympics, but more people are talking, even us, right now, are talking about the shit stuff, you know? More entertaining.
Yeah.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's unfortunately the way the world works. No. Going on to something which I think is fucking great. Has anybody out there heard of the enhanced games?
Well, I hadn't heard of it until you told me about it.
Right, I think this is absolutely brilliant. So I was on, I don't know how, I think you just came up on a social media page, and it come up an advert with a guy going, I am faster than Usain Bolt. I am the current world record holder for 100-metre sprints. But no one knows who I am because I'm not allowed to compete. Boom, the enhanced games. So basically, the enhanced games, it's the world's best athletes enhanced, right? And their advertisement is when 44% of current athletes that are in the Olympics and things like that already use performance enhancement drugs, it's time to safely celebrate science. That's their like tagline, basically. So for those who don't know what that means, in 2025, the Enhanced Games is a planned international sports event where the athletes will not be subject to drug testing, which means basically you can take gear and go in your chosen sport. Which basically means, if you know anything about gear, every record is going to be broken. And I'm really interested to see how much different. Like, how fucking quick can you run the 100 metres if you are like enhanced by a drug? Can you imagine if it's like 8 seconds? Or it's in the 8 to 9 bracket? That's insane.
It is, isn't it?
Now, obviously, they won't get it might not be acknowledged widely as a world record. I get it. Probably not. But it would technically stand as a world record.
Yeah.
And in a day and age where where we've seen transgender people performing in these events and stuff like that, why can't we do enhanced people? You know, people that are taken, because for someone who's trans and wants to, they've taken some kind of drug to become a trans athlete.
Yeah.
You know, or most of the time they do change their hormones and things like that. If you're changing your hormones, it's a steroid basically. That's what you're taking. It's the same thing. You know, so why can't we do it? And it's happening. So 2025, it's gonna. I don't know when.
They're in talks at the moment about which country is going to host it. I believe they're in talks with like host cities, potential host cities.
Wow, it's got to be America, isn't it? If Donald Trump's going to be president, it's going to be America.
Probably, yeah.
If it's going to be.
As we were saying, where will you be able to watch it? That's another question.
I was saying, because I personally think, and you can quote me on this, TV's dead. TV will die soon. Sky will have to redo the whole thing. It's dead, man. I haven't had Sky TV in my house since 2019. So I was paying 100 and something quid a month for absolutely, I weren't watching it ever. You know, it's like I say about adverts. A lot of TV is based around advert revenue. It's the same with most stuff. You know, people get paid to have their ad. Like YouTube's, these are free for everybody. It's free. And Facebook and Twitter and X and all these things, they're free for a reason because their money is coming from ad revenue. So if ad revenue stops, that doesn't exist anymore. You know what I mean? So people will at some point stop funding TV ad revenue because who's watching ads on TV? Everybody's on their phone. If you're watching, say if you are watching Sky TV and an ad comes up, you're just on your phone. You know, you're not looking at it. Very
Yeah,
rarely.
and a lot of people don't watch stuff live, do they? So you're
Ever.
sort of forward through.
Yeah, so it's streaming, man. So it'll have its own streaming service. I think I was saying I've got the NFL network, and that used to have its own thing, but now it's DAZN, DAZN, which is like a fight thing, I think. So I only watch the NFL on it. Like not a fight thing. It's like a random sports thing. I can't even think what it is, but it's got a few things on there. But I only watch the NFL on it. But that's now got that. So maybe something like that would host it or something like that. But someone will. The wrestling I was telling you about, that's going to Netflix next year, and you can see it's becoming more edgy.
Yeah.
Like it used to be back in the 90s. People in the crowd getting a tits out to wrestlers and stuff like that. And that was put on TV, but it was only because the networks, like Fox Network and all those kind of people in America, was like, got to like 2003 or whatever it was. It was like, right, well, we can't do that anymore. We want it to be child friendly. So they have to cut that shit out. And it changed to a more kid friendly product. But now it's going to Netflix. There's less regulation. It's gone back to more of an edgy.
Going to be more interesting to watch.
More titties, baby. So I'm hooked already. So yeah, but it's going back to an edgier product now. So when you go streaming, it's a different level.
Yeah.
You know, there's less regulation. You know, so that's what I think it'll be. I can go into more detail. Enhanced Games is meant to be the first event of its kind to support performance-enhancing drugs and not follow the rules of the World Anti-Doping Agency. Because I think sometimes, I'm not going into like specifics, a lot of the stuff gets banned and you think, why? Do you know what I mean? I mean, an example, Mr. Olympia, which is a non-tested event. They're fucking giants, man. They're giants for a reason. They ain't got that from eating Nana's fucking cottage pie. Do you know what I mean? They're like, they're on gear, you know. And I think it was late 80s, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but they started to test that because people moaned about it because they're on gear. And when they did the tested versions for 1 year, I think maybe 1 year, maybe two, nobody watched it. So viewership went down, prize fund went down. Nobody wanted to see small people. People want to see freaks. You know what I mean? If someone said to me, right, you're going to watch a 100-metre sprint and they're going to do Usain Bolt's 9 point whatever, that kind of level. Or there's another race here where someone's aiming for 7 seconds. I'm watching 7 second, mate. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm watching. Or someone's going to throw this discus into the top level of the stands into someone's face. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm watching that, you know?
I wonder what sort of commentators they'll have.
Oh, it's got to be someone fucking brilliant in it. There's a guy called Pat McCaffrey, who I like, or Pat McCaffrey. Yeah, I think that's how you say his surname. And he's wicked, he's wild, and I love like people like him. Or Joe Rogan, who does the UFC. Fucking love that. I'd love it if it was something like that.
Yeah.
You know? So I think it's going to be
very
really
interesting.
Good.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
gonna
so.
be
But obviously it's
interesting.
flagged loads of concerns and stuff like that. But crack on, man. You know, like things like the heavy lifting competitions and stuff like that. Where's the difference? Where does that go? You know, I'm intrigued to see the difference, man. That's what I'm intrigued to see.
Yeah.
How far does that actually go in terms of somebody taking gear and not specific for that event as well? You know, there's no point in being jacked to fucking muscly to be a sprinter. It's just aerodynamically not going to be able to do that. But there are going to be very much things you can take to make you. You know, taking your breathing's better, your everything's just, you're more cardiovascular fit, you know, so intriguing, interesting. I'm all for it. Enhanced Games, you all for it?
I'm on the fence. Let's see what happens.
Why are you on the fence? Tell us. Tell the viewers.
I think just because of whether I'm really interested to see what the results are, so
Yes.
I'm all for it in that sense,
Yes.
because I think that'll be amazing to see the difference that it makes. But do I think it's right to then potentially be encouraging everybody to start taking performance enhancing drugs? That's where I'm a bit like,
Yeah,
I
because
don't know.
that's 100% what's going to happen as well.
Yeah.
When this comes out, to be fair, and people don't know this, but so many people take that stuff now. I've taken testosterone for years. I love taking it. People don't like taking it because of certain side effects and things like that. And you are kind of hooked on it for life, really, when you start taking it, because it does make you feel better and it does give you extra, gains and strength and things like that. Sexually, it's better, so the way you feel is better. But I'm a very big advocate of a certain age when your testosterone lowers naturally, you should be taking some form of testosterone to counterbalance that. So when women go through menopause and they have to go through that, the drug you're given is a steroid, so there's no difference. It's a different drug, you know. So
It's like you were saying though, I think some people would be able to do it in moderation, but the worry is where it becomes
It's
an addiction
youngsters.
and let's take a bit more and let me take a bit more and let me take a bit more.
Well,
Where
it's
does
just,
it
yeah,
end?
it's just there's two things, right? Steroids, you aren't addicted. It's not like a heroin. You're not addicted to the drug. Oh, I need more heroin. You're not addicted to that. You're addicted to the result.
Yes.
So if you come off it and you no longer look or feel the same, you go, oh. And then of course, then if you're crazy, you go, well, I used to take 10 milligrams of Anavar. That was cool. What if I take 20 milligrams of Anavar? And that's safe, so you take it and you look good. Come off it. And
So
you
what's
go-
Anavar?
It's a tablet which helps you trim up, basically, to put it into the layman's terms. So a lot of people take it to when you're cutting down, trying to lose body fat, but it helps maintain muscle. They give it to patients for like muscle degenerative diseases
Yeah.
to stop or block the muscle degenerative part of it.
Yes.
Because most of this is it's all pharmaceutical stuff, but obviously
Yeah.
there's advantages to the pharmaceutical stuff. So that's what that's for. But obviously, if you take it, it helps anabolically grow muscle, basically. So, and if you haven't got a degenerative disease, you're going to grow muscle. So, especially when you're cutting, it's fantastic. And you can take that relatively safely because it's quite a mild drug. It's given to females. Females really are more harmful to. There's more side effects to females taking it because it's a anabolic testosterone based drug. So more foreign to a female body, whereas a male can take that. And women can take it. There's just more side effects, but it's there for you can take. Females can take that, but obviously the more you take as a male, the more benefit you get out of it. So that's what I'm saying. You go, oh, I took 50 milligrams on this cycle, and I look great, and I felt great, no problems. What if for next time I do 60 milligrams? And it's
Yeah.
like a never-ending.
Yeah. So that's
Where does it end?
yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
but again, correct me if I'm wrong, there's no registered deaths of anybody overdosing on steroids. There's always something else in play, you know. A lot of people make comments and put names up because in the media it's classed as somebody who was a steroid user who died of certain things. But a lot of the time they're on cocaine and stuff like that and taking other drugs, and you can't mix the two. No, that's just stupid, you know. It's the same with any pharmaceutical drug or any pain relief thing. You shouldn't be taking alcohol or any other drugs with that because it's just a stupid combination, you know. So there's those things. So I'm an advocate of yes, there's a benefit of doing it, and yes, you can do it safely. But like you say, the two worries are most normal folk aren't going to be surrounded by medical experts having their blood monitored and heart rates and blood pressure.
Yeah, because although it's sort of non-tested, they are going to be looked after, aren't they, as athletes?
Everybody who does that, even like people like me, I'll have my bloods done and things like that. I should have them more regularly, but I have bloods done. I have things scanned and stuff like that. But not many people do that, you know. So these are going to be looked after. If there's any problem, they'll get fixed. You know what I mean? You won't know, you know. So you could end up with a heart defect and not know, you know. So or you might already have a heart defect and not know. That's dangerous territory. And then of course it's the young generation. Young generation will watch this. And mate, I see it now, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids taking steroids, asking me, oh, have you done this? It's fucking great. And I'm like, how old are you? 17. Are you fucking mental? Why? You should be the most horniest, highest testosterone motherfucker going. Why are you taking it? You should have enough anabolic fucking go in you than anybody. Why are you doing it? It's mad. It shouldn't be happening, really. So there's that. So yeah, I get why you're on the fence. It's cool. Good point made. Yeah. There we go.
Going for gold.
Going for gold. Is that the name of the podcast?
It can be the name
I think
of
it's
the
the name of
podcast.
the
If you reckon.
Going for gold
Yeah.
or the enhanced games.
Yeah.
Going for gold. Are there any muscle maidens?
Haven't got any muscle maidens.
No, no muscle maidens. I have
Sweet.
no questions.
Yeah, we do need to remind everybody that if you do have a question you would like us to talk about,
We'll definitely answer it. Just
We will
write
answer
in.
it.
It's always anonymous as well. Write in. You're probably always going to be you are guaranteed to get on with the questions. So, and throw us your questions in, guys, and we'll answer them. But I think we've covered quite good ground today.
we have.
But send us your thoughts, like, because we're not every one of these points. It's very debatable. anybody wants to debate the child rapist, bring it fucking on. But everything else is quite debatable, you know. So just give us your comments. Let us know what you think. What you think about the controversy of the Olympic Games. What do you think of the enhanced games? Should it be happening? Are you excited for it? I'm excited for it. Let's see what happens. Whether it comes back for a second season, we don't know. But but you know, we'll
Can I leave you with one final, completely unrelated point?
do it.
In that case. So last night I went to the Social Circle meetup, which is in Birmingham. It's for anybody at all. I thought it was just for agency people, but it's not. So anybody that's got an interest in social media or perhaps works in a social media role or is a creator can go along to this event. Great format. They do 10 new things that are happening in social, and then they normally have a speaker.
Cool.
So they covered the 10 things last night. It was across all different platforms, but the one that's coming up for Instagram, I thought you would be interested to learn. Instagram for stories are launching the super like.
Super like.
The super like. So it's to me, it reminds me of, you know, on Britain's Got Talent when they have the golden buzzer.
Yeah.
You can have one super like a day. This is what you'll be able to have, that you can choose to super like a story.
Yeah.
So for you as the individual choosing who you're going to super like, it means that you'll then get served more of that content, or you'll see that content first. But for a creator or a brand, a super like is going to be more important to the algorithm than a typical like.
Super like the fuck out of us, guys. Do it.
Yes.
Every time.
So,
just for the sake of it.
I'm not sure when it's launching, but it is coming. So there you go. Brand new, hot off the press, new feature coming to Instagram.
Is that the word name for it as well? The super like?
Like,
That's
yeah.
terrible. That's terrible.
What would you call
I
it?
don't know. I don't think I'd call it the super like though.
I think you can do it in other platforms already. I think they've sort of stolen that feature from somewhere else. I can't remember who they said already does it.
Okay.
Well,
super like us, guys. You know, we're on. I'm going to start an X, a Twitter.
Are you though?
Yeah, I'm going to put it on because a lot of stuff we can just follow onto X, and then of course it's one of those platforms where if you have anything you want to say, just randomly, you can just type it in. Do you know what I mean? It's not like so we're not on Facebook either, are we really? But
well, we've got a Facebook page, but we're just not doing anything with it.
no, not yet. I feel like everything else is covered. What can Facebook? I suppose you should be on all of them.
Well, when you're on, what do you use Facebook for?
Business.
Personally.
I don't.
Yeah, see, I don't really.
I've got one.
If I'm going to look at anything or engage with any creators or any brands, Instagram is the place that I do it.
I've always found personally, it's Facebook has always been better for me for adverts. That's just mine. You know, maybe it's different for someone else's companies, but a lot of my street food, I mean, I do both adverts, Instagram, Facebook, they're both connected, but I get more response from Facebook than I do Instagram. There's more options on the Facebook one, but that might be because the Instagram platform is based off the Facebook platform, so it's, but you can run a single ad through Instagram, but there's not many options through it, so I tend to find I get more engagement through Facebook business-wise, but if you look at my personal profile, it's just all the business stuff that gets shared to my personal stuff, that's it.
And you're not really scrolling to look at other people's content yourself?
Every person, just so you're aware, on my personal page, if you're not a business or I don't interact with you in a business sense or a money-making sense, you are muted. There's nothing personal. I have no interest in anybody's life other than my own. And
you liked my holiday pictures the other day.
okay, so rewind to what I just said 30 seconds ago. You're on there because...
Yeah, because we're connected in that way, but yeah.
Yeah, but everybody else... I think I've got everybody anyway. Someone pops up sometimes, I think, what? I'm mute.
I rarely open... I do open Facebook, but maybe once a day, and I might have a look at it for a few seconds and then just go off. There's not really any interesting content on there.
Well, that's my point, and like two reasons. One, I'm not interested in your personal life because that's your personal life.
Yeah.
Can I jump in and disagree?
Ooh.
As a massive Facebook user.
Oh, well, Ben's old school. He loves Facebook.
There's no harm in that though. I think Facebook's good. I just don't personally. Yeah, like that.
Yes,
like
communities.
even some of the communities annoy me, but I'll be in them because for business it's great.
Well, Ben is in the Dull Man's Club on Facebook.
Nice.
Yeah, I
And
know
the
you're
van
in a
club.
fan club, but that's not as interesting as, well, that's irony.
Not
but,
as interested in the dull.
as the Dull Man's Club.
So the dull man's club's fucking brilliant. No way.
Yeah.
I
But
like the groups.
he's always saying, oh, I should post this on the Dull Man's group.
No, I like if you're into the groups, fair play, Ben, because I like the groups because I'm a big fucking geeky toy collector so I like the toy collector groups because you can find shit on there. It's almost like a live car boot sale. Love it. Do you know what I mean?
So that's what Facebook's for, I think, more than
Yeah, stuff like that. Marketplace can go and jog
maybe
on.
it's because I'm not in any communities on Facebook.
Marketplace.
Yeah, you've got to be
Marketplace can
interested.
jog on.
Yeah, Marketplace can literally. There should be no place for Facebook Marketplace because it's been ruined by absolute skagheads. But if you're into something on it that can be a group, you should definitely look because some of them are pretty cool. You know, you get some good.
Oh, the one that I was in, which I loved, was the Disneyland Paris for Brits.
There you go. So, yeah, that's it. So I'm in the Florida one massively, the Paris one. You get all your updates and stuff through there, and
so it is good
yes,
for that.
it's great for that. You know, like now people post stuff, and I'm a fucking Disney World pro. I'm a Florida pro. I could write the fucking thing.
Do you go in there and give tips?
No, yeah, I don't interact. No, I can't be that gay. I can't. Delete that bit. I can't be that geeky.
When people are like, can anybody tell me which is the best restaurant for this, or
Yeah,
what snacks should I take?
I'd rather
When's
figure
the
out.
best time of day for this ride?
Yeah, just some questions aren't answerable. Like that's not an answerable question because it could. That's like predicting the future, you know. But like, just find out for yourself. You know, I don't interact. But yeah, so like, but just put the context around. Like, if you're muted, one, I'm not interested in your personal life because it's your business, not my business. And two, most of the time, especially on Instagram, because I've got so many business accounts that follow, like my gym. If you're a part of my gym, you'll be followed on my gym page. So the last thing I want is for me to go on my gym page, see someone's stories, and then because they're on my personal page, I flick over, and then the same things are coming up on my thing.
Well, I've got a rule about this, and it sort of does go against, because I will share the Revive It stuff on my story, which probably does annoy people that follow both
But they're getting
pages.
double, aren't they? Yes.
But the one rule personally that I have is I won't post something on Instagram and post the same thing on Facebook because I've got the same people.
Yeah.
So, for example, when I just came back off holiday, I put my reel on Instagram with my videos, and I put my photos on Facebook. Never the twain shall meet.
There you go. Somewhat different. But that's the same kind of principle, isn't it? Because you're more likely just to get muted. And that's kind of it, really. I don't want to see double the shit. And I'm genuinely, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way to anybody, I am not, even family, you're muted. I'm not interested. I don't want to see anybody's personal life. I just don't. I'm not interested in it.
I like seeing people's updates.
No, it's too nosy.
I love it. Well, I'm nosy.
Like that's what I mean. There's nothing wrong with it. It just doesn't do anything for me. Like, I'm like, I don't want to know how many days Linda's got left to go to Blackpool. I'm not interested. You know, don't care. You know, I don't care. So it's stuff like that. You know, if you've got a business though. Like, I know some people I know, they've got clothing businesses and stuff like that. I'll follow you all day. You won't be muted because I want to support that all day. But there has to be some kind of benefit, you know? Like, I'm following you because it's benefiting you because you're getting more likes, followers, stuff like that. But it's just your personal page. I'll give you a number so you can add me, but you'll be muted. Yeah, I won't ever see anything.
How about the conversation that you had with Ben while we were in Cyprus about Instagram? Where I think you
Oh, you said he weren't following me, was he? And I was like, I hope some Cypriot man kicks you in the dick. And then when I looked, I'm like, I'm not even following him. So I was like, sorry, man, take it all back. As if I weren't following you, mate.
I know.
It's embarrassing. I know. But yeah, but that's how bad I am. Do you see what I mean? Like, I should follow him. But I don't think I've ever, and I might be wrong, I don't think I've ever actually followed someone. Does that make sense? I've always just like Instagram, someone follows you, you automatically follow them, don't you? And like Facebook, but I've never actually followed anybody.
You haven't been the instigator.
Yes, sorry, Facebook, it's the same, and Instagram you can follow back, can't you? But
yeah.
I've never done that. I don't think so. Maybe when I was 50, well, I weren't available then. I'm too old for that. 20 something, maybe I did then, but not for a long time. I just don't. Yeah, it's not my thing. Just not nosy, guys. Sorry. It's just how it is. There we go. Boring. I am boring. I'm a loner. Very much a loner. I'm a loner with 2 sidekicks in my house. You know.
And a rabbit.
Yeah, who got escaped today, but came back. Yeah, there we go. Love it though. Love it. It's great. And that's it. Follow us on YouTube. We're on there.
Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram.
TikTok.
And follow us on TikTok.
TikTok's getting good. I followed Athena's advice about putting the music behind the background. We're getting loads of views, loads of likes. It's great. Follow us on that. And then I am going to make an X.
Okay.
For us to just put little comments. I feel like we'd do that. I feel we'd see each other most days.
Yeah.
We'll probably say something in a session and go, I'll put that next. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like it works. There's a way there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that. So we'll be on X. I'll post that. Follow us on X. And, interact, man. Definitely send us your muscle aliens because we'll answer them. Job done.
Oh.
And that's all. See you next week for episode 13. Unlucky 13. It's going to be an admin episode. Gotta be. Unlucky 13. We shall be back next week.
Goodbye.
Boom.